We have our best offer yet on poodlecfb.com right now until the launch of CFB 26. If you use code LAUNCH with a capital L, you will get $50 off the annual plan. And if you're into the monthly plan, if you use code LAUNCH 2025 capital L, you will get $5 off the monthly plan. Guys, these discounts are recurring. So the beauty of this is if you lock yourself in now, you'll have it for the remainder of CFB 25 and CFB 26 and beyond that. So make sure to sign up right now. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Poodle back with another CFB 25 video. And today's video, I'm going to be going over what you absolutely need to be doing every time in every dynasty you're in to make sure you set yourself up for the most success in every league. Before we get into the video, guys, don't forget, you only have a few weeks left, very limited time, to cash in on the best poodlecfb.com code to date. If you use code LAUNCH, capital L, you get $50 off the annual plan, which is 1/3 off the entirety of the year. I'll lock you in for the rest of this year and all of CFB 26. It's a phenomenal value. And if you want to stick to the monthly plan, Launch capital L 2025 gets you $5 off the monthly plan. Lots of people are taking advantage of this, locking themselves in now. Let's give you a few extra weeks or so to kind of learn the spreadsheets, the calculators. So day one, when your new dynasty kicks off, friends and family, a lot of people start those dynasties those first few days and they rock with it all year. So make sure you're ahead of the curve so you have all the information that you're going to need to dominate your dynasty. Don't forget to use the code. Don't forget to learn all the spreadsheets. Check it out. You won't want to miss it, guys. Let's get into the video. So guys, something that I feel like people don't always talk about or they don't exactly grasp is videos that I put out or general information on CFB is always like 90% to 85% relevant to your situation. So for instance, my ideal coach build, right? My ideal coach build where you're doing up to level 3 on the top, avoiding kickers, up to level 1 on the second, getting the coordinate, that's like 90 to 85% accurate across the board. But there's variance, and this is for every strategy you will be utilizing in CFB 25. You need to assess a few things. You need to assess first what style league you're in, online versus offline. Let's start there. First key difference there is in an offline league by yourself, you may not need the elite recruiting build because you're not going to be going against other users. You can kill most of the CPU however you want and kind of just have fun with it. So for an offline league, you may want to instead dial back on the elite recruiting portion. Maybe you want to go double master motivator coordinators, or you want to test out like program builder and CEO. So you have to understand that in an offline league, yes, I'll still do motivator. Yes, I'll mostly still do some program stuff, but you may not need the overkill of the elite recruiter. You may not need double elite recruiter coordinators. While I still want to win recruiting, you may win regardless. So it actually may be like, it's kind of like the diminishing returns, like how good you need to be at recruiting to just win every recruit. In an offline league, the threshold's here, while in an online league, the threshold's here. So you may only need this much recruiting, and now you can spend more on motivator and architect, and now the diminishing returns, that exact point is, you did less recruiting, and your bar's here instead of here. It's slightly moved down, but now your development bar is all the way up here, if that makes sense. So now you can develop way better while still bringing in the same point, and basically you get to you get to the finish line quicker, and or you have a higher ceiling. So that's the first thing. The second thing is understanding your league mates. If you're in a league full of people who don't recruit well, or they don't really understand how this game works, again, same situation, you may not need to go all in on certain things, or vice versa. They don't recruit well, you may want to just lock it in, get your recruiting and just out recruit them, because you know you're going to bring in so many other players in them and you're going to lock it in no matter what. But of course, they may have a chance if they don't recruit well, but you both don't recruit well because you have bad packages and they're better school. And here's the next thing, understanding the school choices. So I always make videos going over, this is what you need. This is what you need to do. And I have people commenting like, but what about this? What about this? Exactly. So what I want you guys to always do after coming away from my video, and this is what I do when I read articles, I do anything, read it, absorb it, and then compare it to your situation, because not every situation is the same. So when you're going to be building your coach up, I may be telling you guys, go for architect, go for architect, go for architect, but you're not good at this game. You know, relatively speaking, you don't go on 3-game win streaks. You like to be like a very realistic sim style playing as Marshall, and you're only going to win 2-3 games the first few years. For you, Master Motivator is much better, and you need to understand, I do lay that caveat out in these videos, but I need to understand your situation. I may say program builder is really great, but you may be Bama and you already have all 5-star pipelines. So for you, save those points, and maybe you could try out that CEO package you've always wanted, or maybe you can go all in on Elite Recruiter and get that a little higher, or maybe you can test out getting Master Motivator with Architect stacked by dropping all the other stuff, like slightly. And that's the point. Furthermore, like let's say I recommend Architect. Always keep in mind this too, is like Architect, you earn additional XP for quarterbacks. That's a great package. I love it for in-game goals. That sounds awesome. But you run the ball 45 times a game, your quarterback never gets more than 4 pass attempts, you'd probably be better off just going with Master Motivator and getting the organic level 3 boost from quarterbacks here. and then saving the points from Program Builder because you're Bama, just go ahead and buy Master Motivator and then alternate. So your Architect goes in your running back because you run a lot, Master Motivator goes in your quarterback. These are things you need to be looking at. Your coordinator styles. I recommend elite recruiter coordinators almost every time. Now, what if you're in a league where no one can recruit anyways, like I said before, but on the flip side, you need to develop? What if you're in a league that has a challenge for developing players and who can get the highest overall and you want to get Master Motivator up? What if you choose a team that already has a lot of depth and you can go a year or two while you build up your recruiting style? There's so many factors to this when doing this, and you need to understand your league too. If you're in a league of let's say you're in a league, join a league of very competitive users, very competitive, and you know your chance of winning is really 1 out of 32 every year because that's how hard it's going to be, and maybe even lower than that because they're much better than you. That's a case where you want to be starting your league with, you want to be starting with the best team, with the best pipelines, with the best coordinators, or if you're going to do a low star build school, you want to be picking like a team like Syracuse or UTSA or Kentucky that has the double elite recruiters, that have the good pipelines, and you want to be like putting yourself in a spot where you can outpace them. Now, if you're in a fun league with just your friends and it's just about like having some fun, screwing around, playing on Friday, Saturday nights when you have some time, then don't take it as seriously with the coach build. Leave yourself some 20% allowance and do it a certain way, or pick the school you want, right? Understand there's variance to everything we do. Everything we do is there's variance, but also not so much about just fun, but also there's situations where in your league it actually makes more sense. It makes more sense. So let's say in your league's huge on visits, or your league, like everyone, you need to know your competition. When you're going to, let's say you're in a pipeline and you're always going against like Alabama and Georgia at LSU for these certain recruits, and you know that they have double elite recruiter stacks and they're always beating you and you're small, don't choose a small school in that direction. If you know the best 3 users in your school and you guys did team selection, the best 3 users in your league chose Bama, Georgia, LSU, don't choose a small school in that general area or region or pipeline, because now you're gonna have to go against them for most recruits that are gonna be at the top of your board. Try to go to a school that's good with pipeline, like again, Syracuse, or like good with UTSA, or even like a Kentucky that are away from that pipeline a little bit. And that way you can compete and still build yourself up. You don't want to put yourself in that trap. Now, let's say on the flip side, 3 of the worst users in your league chose Bama, Georgia, and you know that you could take that pipeline over early, then you can get into that. So again, all these things are very specific to your area. Stanford, top 20 pipeline. They have double Master Motivator. They're away from a lot of pipelines from the top schools that you could be dealing with. That's a school that you can kind of like sneak into and get into and build up small. Just always assess your league. Because like I said in this last video, I think this game, growing and building in this game, is a snowball effect. What happens in those first 2 to 3 seasons basically lay the foundation for your next 10 seasons. If you have a really good 3-year start, elite recruiter, bringing in top 10 talent consistently, winning games, getting your stars up every year, getting your hours up, you're going to be in year 4 or 5 amongst the powerhouses. If you, those first 3 years, are in like a stacked pipeline with great users, you're barely winning games, you can't get your stars up, while we're in year 4 and you're still a 2-star with Marshall and you can't get them off the ground, Bam and all these teams are bringing in 99 players, 99 overall players. They're graduating them. They're getting the boost. They're on that path of like that 99 overall snowball where they have 5 years worth of 5-star recruits already in the pipeline coming through. And they're going to be at least for the next 5 years and beyond, until you can kind of cut into their recruiting and some other users can cut into their recruiting. Now you're looking at like a 10 to 15 year plan instead of a 5 to 10. That's where it starts to get kind of crazy. And that's where it's like, this is never going to work. You kind of get demotivated. So understand your league. That is so important, to understand your league and not letting that snowball effect happen. If you know you're going to a league with elite users and they're so much better than you, they're really good, don't like be foolish and say, I'm gonna take a Texas pipeline or a Georgia Bama pipeline team that's a 1-star like Southern Georgia, and I'm gonna get in there, Georgia State, and I'm gonna try this out. It's not gonna work. Even if you do everything right, it's going to be so hard. You could do all that though, but go to a small school out of that pipeline or out of that conference. Understanding conference talent too. If you're in a league where the 7 best users all picked SEC schools, forget that you really wanted to go Arizona, or you really want to go, let's say, Arkansas in the SEC. How about you just go for a school in the Big Ten that you know is still pretty good, but you get away or in the ACC like Miami, and you know you're going to get the elite recruiters, you know you're going to get the great pipeline, you're going to get away from that other SEC pipeline, you're going to get that Florida one, and you're going to go into a conference that you can win a lot. Why? Conference championships get you coaching unlock requirements, rivalry games, winning a lot of games get your stars up. It just sets up the stage for you. Always consider all those factors when picking a school, because the biggest thing early in those first 3 years is recruiting well, getting the double elite recruiter coordinators, winning games, getting your stars up, winning conference chips, getting into the playoffs. That all goes such a long way in setting your foundation for the next 10 years. So it is so important to factor that all in. don't throw yourself into the fire if you don't have to. CFB is a great game for the first 2 or 3 years, kind of just like hide in the shadows. Unless you're really good at this game and you just take like a Georgia Bama, or you just like you're there, then that's fine. You know you could handle it. But always set up your foundation to dominate for the first 3 years, because after that you'll be fine once you have everything the way you want. You have your coach build set up and everything else, especially because other people are also getting their coach build set up. So if you can get yourself on a better footing than them, you have time to beat them out before they have it ready. Like a team like LSU or a team like Bama, Georgia, if they start off with a level 0 coach, yeah, their coordinators are good, but they're not going to have everything they want yet. So if you get a coach that starts with everything you want, with coordinators and stuff the way you want it, you have a chance to kind of gain ground on them before they can get that. Because once they have that, plus their pipelines, plus their overall, they become like powerhouses beyond what they already are. But guys, that's about it for the video. If you have any other questions about this or any other general advice similar to this, please comment down below. It's been a great forum in the comment section all the time for stuff like this. So let me know. Anything to add to this, feel free to add it. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, check out poodlecfb.com. Code launch, capital L, gets you $50 off the annual plan. Code launch 2025, capital L, gets you $5 off the monthly plan. This is our best deal yet on poodlecfb.com. Lock it in now. There's a few weeks left to lock it in before it goes away and CFB 26 launches. Lock it in now. You can spend this next month or so that we have learning the spreadsheets, learning the formulas, learning the calculators, learning how to utilize it all. That way when you start your league, like I said, assess your starting point. You have all these tools at your disposal that you could use. We have spreadsheets to show you every coordinator, every package, every ability, every best build. You'll have everything ready to go so that when you launch for CFB 26, you'll have it ready to go and you could start on your best foot for your family friend leagues and dominate them. Check it out. All discounts are for the lifetime of your membership. So if you lock it in now, you have it for the remainder of your membership at that rate. But guys, about it for the video. Hope you enjoyed. I'm out. Peace.